First step is to find grade on all these posts. Second step is to find a desired height for the loft. Find the difference between the height and the grade and transfer that to the rest of the posts. This keeps everything level.
There's the loft, guys. I'm getting going. All I need now is to put a flooring on the top. And I found out that flooring is mighty expensive right now. In this build right here, just this loft build, now the concrete, I don't know how much concrete bags are going for right now. I think there's 3 bags in each pad. All the wood I milled out myself. The most expensive part of this build was the lag bolts. The lag bolts to bolt the brackets to the concrete and to the posts, the lag bolts to go 2x12 into the 6x6s, and then of course the screws to put it. I probably went through $10 worth of screws putting that floor together so far. I might have spent about $80 on lag bolts. I spent $12 on the metal for the brackets. Now, $12 to get you 1 bracket for a 6x6, and these are actually true 6x6s. They're not finished 6x6s, which are about 5 1/4 nowadays by 5 1/4. So I couldn't just go down to the store and buy a bracket anyways. I would have to make a bracket, and making brackets saved me a lot of money. This build, milling out my own lumber, it is pine, but it's built pretty much overkill. 6x10s going across, and these 2 first sections here, those will be walled in. So those will have walls holding this 6x10 up, and also the 2x12s. I know those 2x12s they're 12 foot long. Over time they would probably sag, but they're going to have a wall underneath them to help hold those up, make sure they don't start sagging over time. It's just going to take time to get to that point. So it might not happen this summer, but it will happen. Now, to protect the bottom of these posts from the concrete, because if you put a post just on top of concrete, it will wick water up into the post. So I burnt the posts, I burnt the bottom, I burnt the sides up a couple feet, and then I covered all this with boiled linseed oil, soaked it in real good. Then I used number 2 plastic, HDPE plastic. A lot of things are HDPE plastic, milk jugs, the oil jugs. I think one of those jugs was bar oil for my chainsaw that was empty. I have a tendency to save all those jugs just because I know that HDPE plastic is really usable, especially if you get a flat piece like this. So I've got that piece of plastic underneath the 6x6 to keep any moisture from wicking out of the concrete and into this post to make it rot out. That, along with the burnt part and the boiled linseed oil soaked in, it should last a good long time. This bracket is 2.5 inch, 1/8 inch thick steel, and then I cut it 6 inches long. I think this is a little over 1.5 inches down here and the rest up here. Bolt for the concrete and a lag bolt for this post. Now, this bracket is not meant as a structural component as much as it's just meant to keep this post where it is while I'm building. Building a bracket like this makes it really easy to replace this post if somewhere down the line this post rots out. Take 1 lag bolt out, prop the wall up, or prop that floor up with a couple of posts, 1 on each side. Pop this post out, put another post in, lag bolt it in, and you're done. This plywood bracket right here, this is just here to help me get those beams into place. It did the job of just giving me a backstop to put that beam up against. I didn't have to worry about making it perfectly centered on top of this 6x6. This did the trick. It's not going to stay there. I'm going to put a nice piece of 2x6 with some lag bolts going into both beams and the post, and the 2x6 will look a little nicer than the plywood, and I'll probably put the 2x6 on both sides. This is just there temporarily to get the whole thing kind of going. Now, as far as the floor goes, we all know that flooring, well, any lumber nowadays has gone through the roof. I went down to the big box store, it's about an hour away, and went to pricing some flooring. The 3/4 inch plywood, 3/4 inch OSB, tongue and groove flooring that you would put down, subfloor, I guess you'd call it. It would cost me, I think it would turn out to be a little bit over $1,000 to put plywood, well, OSB, plywood is a little bit more expensive, OSB flooring, 3/4 inch thick, up there. A little bit over $1,000, and I built it. I haven't really spent much on right now, and I don't really want to spend $1,000. I don't really have $1,000 to spend. So I'm thinking if I mill 3/4 inch thick by 6 inches wide, so I can take those boards, butt them together real tight, and take another layer and overlap the seams and screw down through both of them into those floor joists. Now, I could just mill 1.5 inches thick, which is what this turns out to be. I could mill basically 2x6 or 2x8 and lay them up there as flooring. But then I have that gap that's going to eventually show up. And you go walking upstairs, and if there's somebody downstairs underneath you, dust and dirt's going to fall on them. Now, I could make a little tongue and groove or some type of shiplap so that that dust and dirt wouldn't fall down as much, but it's still going to fall down through because pine's going to shrink. I'm hoping that having 2 layers like this screwed down is going to be strong enough with those floor joists 2 foot on center. Well, let me know in the comment section whether you think that flooring idea will work. I don't know if it's going to be stable enough or strong enough. I'll probably mill out a couple pieces tomorrow, stick them up there and screw them down, stand on them, see how strong it feels. If it's strong enough for a little while, maybe later on when the price of lumber comes down, we can get some 3/4 inch OSB flooring, that subfloor, and put it up on top of it, make it really strong. Still have that pine look when you look up at the bottom floor. If you like seeing stuff get built, seeing stuff get made, hit that subscribe button, little bell for notifications. If you like supporting the channel, you can always support us for free with that Amazon affiliate link. Click on that link, do your shopping on Amazon, won't cost you a penny, gets us a slim portion for being the ones that send you there. Until next time, guys, go make something.